The Supreme Court got rid of universal injunctions today, so these are some of the ways it's likely going to be weaponized almost immediately. In short, this ruling puts us all in more danger, and I don't say that to be alarmist. I say it so you understand what was keeping us all safe, or relatively, and most of us. I've talked about this many times before, but the number one place that we have had any wins is in the courts. We have a Republican-led Congress that will not impeach and an executive branch that obviously wants to do whatever it wants. So the only way to stop them is by suing over harm they cause. However, a court case takes time and they can do a lot of harm in that time. Right now, all of our wins, all of the things that are basically holding the administration back from doing blatantly illegal things have either been rulings on their actions, ruling that they are in fact illegal, or injunctions until those rulings come through, basically saying, we don't know if it's illegal yet, but you can't do it until we figure out if it is. Getting rid of universal injunctions means that if someone sues over the harm that is being caused by a policy in a different part of the country, they can be granted a pause, but unless you sue, you will not be granted a pause. States and organizations can also sue, but now the scope of an injunction is limited basically to the plaintiffs. Obviously, this creates a lot of issues that they can take advantage of because the number one thing that they have on their side is how long it takes to get a determination that something is in fact illegal or unconstitutional. Injunctions were the only sort of band-aid in between. So number one, obviously this puts a huge burden on victims of these policies. Now you have to be able to sue, which most people cannot. We don't have the resources to sue the federal government. If a person can't sue, they're at risk of being harmed by a policy until it is in fact ruled to actually be illegal. So that's thousands of people that can be harmed by these policies that in many cases will be found to be illegal after the fact. Number two, it puts a huge burden on the courts themselves, which will of course slow everything else down. It will take a lot longer to determine the legality of these policies. Once again, extending the amount of harm that can be done. Number three, this further incentivizes the administration to rapidly move the people in their custody to other districts, as they've been doing. They have been caught moving many of their victims almost immediately into friendly districts with friendly district court judges that they believe will rule in their favor. This makes it a lot harder, if not impossible, to protect the people moved into those districts who cannot sue on their own behalf within those districts. Another issue, if you think it's hard to keep track of everything now, it's about to get thousands of times worse. I know it sucks and it's hard, but we have to try between all of us because they want people to fall through the cracks. As I said in my last video, this should not be seen as a partisan issue. Yes, there are issues with nationwide injunctions, but I would argue that there are bigger issues with putting the entire burden of defending oneself against the federal government on each individual person that is potentially being targeted by the federal government. The federal government controls and runs on the resources of our nation. It is crazy to think that we, collectively as a people, cannot be granted collective injunctive relief for something that they may be doing against all of us.